And I also found a bag, a doctor bag. As the weather is slowly changing, days are getting shorter, rain is back, the summer delights and festivities are coming to an end. I visited last weekend my friend who lives in Poitiers. She prepared a wonderful program for my stay. As she is passionate about floral art and flowers, we visited a magical secret garden which belongs to a beautiful lady in her late 80s who still receives every day all her visitors at 87 years old. And she shows them each corner of her very large garden, and her garden is located 20 minutes away from Poitiers, and it is called Le Jardin du Prieuré de Laverré. It is so inspiring to see a lady in her late 80s who is still full of life, energy, very active, constantly smiling, and full of wisdom and knowledge, and wants to share her passion with all her visitors. The next day, we visited an 18th century castle, which was a big surprise. The Château des Ormes, which belonged to a minister of the foreign affairs of Louis XV. For a few years, he was only minister for a few years, and he was fired from the government and exiled in his château. Le Marquis de Voyer d'Argenson, so it's the name of the original landlord. And here is the owner of the castle, a beautiful dog who guided us throughout the castle and the garden. And it was the very first time I had a four-legged guide in a castle, and it was absolutely delightful.
Tu nous fais la visite? C'est super! C'est super! T'es vraiment acheté un prince transformé en chien?
Of course, we saw my friend Diderot. I meet him everywhere I go, actually. Voltaire and a few others from the 18th century. And this was a huge freezer, une glacière, which was created to collect ice and snow in winter, and they would keep the ice and snow during the entire summer season to preserve all the food and the meat. So it's really spectacular, and the first time I saw this natural fridge they could have because of the very cold winters.
Il est gigantesque.
Non, tu vas me faire mal.
Il est un peu trop grand, je pense.
An escapade into the past requires a visit in a brocante, and we found a few precious treasures in this thrift store. As I came back home with my gems, I couldn't help thinking about the words from a new ghost friend of mine from the past. I discovered him earlier this summer, and his name is Gosselin Le Nôtre. He was an historian born in the 1850s, and is called the Alexandre Dumas of historians, because he was very prolific and a wonderful storyteller, and was obsessed with old things, old Paris and old places. This is what he writes in his diary, and let me know if it resonates with you too. Chaque semaine, on expose ici sur la place du marché un tas de meubles dépareillés, cassés, fripés, dont on fait à la criée la vente publique. C'est lamentable. Je sens en moi, dans ces occasions, s'éveiller une sorte de vocation de Vincent de Paul des vieilles choses. J'achèterai tout en bloc, par manie, pour éviter à ces objets auxquels des inconnus ont tenu et qu'ils ont aimé la profanation de l'encan brutal. Mais quand, parmi ces vieilleries, se rencontrent des livres, d'horribles bouquins sentant le moisi, mou, jauni, méprisé, ils me font l'effet d'enfants perdus et c'est un devoir de les recueillir. J'ai hospitalisé dans ma bibliothèque bien des volumes que je n'ouvrirai jamais.
I had to come back with few treasures, so I found 2 engravings, which are completing some I already had in the studio, which are old engravings. One of Colbert, who was the boss of Charles Perrault. You have seen him, or he was mentioned in my Charles Perrault's video. And one of Le Duc d'Orléans, who was the best friend of Le Duc de Lauzun, that you must also have heard of in my historical video about Le Duc de Lauzun. And I also found this magazine. It doesn't look like it, but it is one of the very, very first French magazine, and it is called Le Mercure Galant. And this one is a copy of 1680, and it is in this magazine that Charles Perrault, that you have already seen in the previous video all about him, that he will publish Sleeping Beauty, his first version of Sleeping Beauty, in 1696. So it's quite moving to hold this piece of history, which is almost 350 years. And if you really think about it, it really gives the vertigo. But I was so excited when I opened it that I found the lyrics, the mention of one of my all-time favorite Baroque aria, a chaconne by Marc-Antoine Charpentier. And it is a song which has very recently been very often sung by Baroque musicians. It was a bit forgotten for a few centuries, and with the rediscovery of Baroque music, it has been a lot recorded. It is a gently erotic song. What is really moving is it has been just published. When this magazine was published, it's the first time there was a mention of this song. So there is a man who said, on m'a donné une fort agréable chaconne dont je vous fais part. Elle est de Monsieur Charpentier. Son nom vous la doit faire recevoir avec plaisir. So it's just extremely moving for me because I love this song, and to discover it in this precious edition and copy of Le Mercure Galant was really a treat. And I also found a bag, a doctor bag, which I already have a bigger one, which is a modern one, a new one I had received as a gift for Christmas many, many years ago, but it was a new one, and this one is an old real one, I think from probably the early 20th century. I'm not really sure. I have started to clean it, but not everywhere. I'm going to redo the lining inside so I could use it. You can open it and everything, and I've already cleaned it and polished it, and I added some special brown polish so that it would restore a bit the leather, but I'm very, very pleased.
And this is the poetic home of my friend. She loves floral art and she makes a lot of floral and seasonal arrangements in her home. And this was her summer decor. She's about to change it. As the season is changing, the kingdom is getting ready for his seasonal outfit. I'm finishing to clean a few things in the living room. I'm going to fetch my boxes and start to put into place my decor this weekend. Candles have been bought because the candle season is about to be back. And I also wanted to finish to decorate the fireplace mirror. I wanted to have a sort of gallery of portraits all around the mirror because this is the place where I can have some candles and it lights the faces in a very, very nice way. Probably will add a few more portraits and I will keep them throughout the seasonal decors. I'm going to play with them and add some scary Halloween decors and then some more Christmassy, festive, warm decors a little later.
I'm about to start to decorate for the autumnal season and Halloween, but I will leave all my portraits. That's why I wanted to have them all hung, all the portraits of my ghost friends from the past. I like to have them here on the fireplace because with the candles it gives a really nice glow and warm light to their faces. And I can't really have this effect in any other places on the walls because I would need some special table or shelves, which for now I don't have. So I thought it was a fun way to decorate the place around the mirror and to have these portraits of people I like, and I wanted to have them. There is Alexandre de Tilly, who had a historical video series about him, and it's a very fun character from the 18th. And there is Madame de Choiseul. I really like her too. You have seen her too in the Le Duc de Lausanne series, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau, of course. I think I'm going to add probably one or two more. And of course, there is Château de Laclos at the top. But I'm going to do something around him at the top. I didn't finish. I want to paint a little decor all around that I could remove possibly, but around his portrait. You will see one more sort of normal video before we jump into Halloween and autumnal and dark videos, but I have probably one, maybe two more videos to come, and you are going to see it before we jump into the autumnal and Halloween season. And I'm going to finish to clean a bit all my home before I start to put all the decor of the past decors I have, and then the new one which will complement all the past one. And now I have more places to play with my decor in the kitchen. I have more shelves, and I also have to do the entrance hall these upcoming days because the wallpaper arrived and I'm excited to add it. You are going to see it's a very different color from the pink paper I had, but I think it's going to look really nice. So quite a lot to do, and all the Halloween workshops are going to open very, very shortly. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you very soon, and don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss the nice videos coming.